not studied this dimension analysis. Okay, anyway, now we will going to study in details of this dimension analysis. Clear? So first, while coming to this dimension analysis, okay, it is a mathematical technique which make us to study the dimension for solving several engineering problems. Okay, for example, okay, so I will going to take any one turbine. Okay, for that turbine I will give some variables. So what are that variables? Initially I will going to give what is the efficiency, okay, and what is the power. Okay, so for that power, okay, so I have to take some other parameters. Okay, so it is depending on maybe it is in a speed, the diameter of the rotor, the discharge of the fluid, the density of the fluid, and the viscosity of the fluid, and some other parameters. Okay, so here we can see the variables is n number of variables we have. Okay, so by using this dimension analysis, okay, so we will going to convert into that dimension to dimensionless numbers. Okay, so that we can call it as a dimensional analysis. Okay, so here we can see it is a mathematical technique which makes us of the study of a dimension for solving several engineering problems. And later they give each physical phenomena can be expressed by an equating giving the relation between quantities. Such quantities are dimensional and non-dimensional numbers. Okay, so I won't okay, spare time on this. Okay, so I'll come for directly I'll come for the okay dimensions. So due to okay I don't have the board and all, but here I'll going to tell in details. Okay, so how we can convert here from dimension to dimensionless numbers. Okay, so here we can see the various physical quantities used in fluid phenomenon can be expressed in terms of a fundamental quantities or the primary quantities. The fundamental quantities are, so please remember this, because while solving the problem we have to use this fundamental quantities or the primary quantities. So here we can see one is in a mass, so it is denoted by capital M. Another one is in a length, it is denoted by capital L, and time, so capital T. And whatever this temperature, see whatever this temperature we are not using in the fluid mechanics or the turbo machines. Okay, it is whatever this temperature, it is only for a heat transfer problems. Okay, I will repeat once again. So here we have the primary quantities or a fundamental quantities. Basically here they mentioned it is in a 4. So one is in a mass, length, time, and temperature. But in fluid mechanics or in a fluid machinery or a turbo machinery, okay, we are using only these 3: mass, length, and time. We are not bothering about the temperature because we are not using any temperature here. But whatever this temperature, it is helpful for any heat transfer problems. Okay, so the fundamental quantities in fluid machines or in a turbo machines, okay, it is only 3. So mass, length, and time. Next, the quantities which are expressed in terms of a fundamental or primary quantities are called derived or a secondary quantities. Okay, whatever this M, L, T, mass, length, and time, okay, these quantities are expressed in terms of the fundamental or primary quantities are called derived quantities. Example: velocity, area, acceleration, etc. Okay, so here they given one simple problem. Okay, and here they given FLT. So we are not using FLT, we are using only MLT. Okay, mass, length, and time. So here they given one small example. So in the previous class, okay, someone asked us, sir, we don't know the basics and all. So here, okay, just one problem I took here. So determine the dimensions of the following quantities. Okay, they given the discharge. Okay, another one is a kinematic viscosity, force and the specific weight. Okay, so first if we consider discharge. So what is the unit for discharge? So it is in a meter cube per second. So we can call it as a discharge is nothing but area into velocity. Okay, what is area? So area will get in a meter square and velocity will get in a meter per second. Okay, so I'll repeat here, discharge is nothing but it is an area into velocity. So the unit for area is, it is in a meter square, and velocity it is in a meter cube per, meter per second. So what is a meter? So here it is in a meter means already it is in a length. Okay, so L, meter it is in a length, so it is in a L square. Okay, next velocity. So velocity it is in a meter per second. So meter is nothing but here we can see length, and here it is in a time. Okay, second is nothing but it is in a time. So whatever we have this, okay, we will going to convert into the fundamental quantities or the derivative quantities. So finally we will get it is in a meter cube per second. So meter cube is nothing but L cube. Okay, length cube by time. So finally we can write this in terms of a L to the power of 3 and T to the power of minus 1. Okay, so L3 and T minus 1. So whatever the dimensions they given, okay, we will going to convert into in this manner, M, L and T. I hope you understood this. Okay, because we don't have any boards and all, so that's why I'm explaining like this only. Okay, discharge meter cube per second. So what is meter cube? Meter we will going to call it as an L cube, and velocity, okay, we'll call it as an T to the power of minus 1. Okay, similarly, okay, they derived for kinematic viscosity. Okay, and further it is for a force and the specific weight. See, all it is in a terms of a MLT. So we have to convert this. Okay. So here they given the fundamental basics of using the dimensions, and later we're going to convert into the dimensionless quantities in terms of M, L and T. Okay. So while coming to here, so we can see some quantities used in fluid mechanics and heat transfer. So you just forgot about this heat transfer. We are not using theta or temperature. So here they given some fundamental quantities M, L, T. So and the geometric quantities. So area. So it is in a unit for area. It is in a meter square. So L square. Similarly, volume L cube. It is in a meter cube, and inertia. Okay, it is a meter to the power of 4. So it is in a L to the power of 4. Okay, similarly, the given kinematic quantities and some dynamic quantities. Okay, and whatever this thermodynamic quantities we are not using, okay, in our turbo machines topics. Okay, so you just omit this one. Okay, so we'll go into see from up to here. Okay, so one is a fundamental quantities MLT, geometric quantities and kinematic quantities and dynamic quantities. So whatever here they given, it is in terms of a MLT. So that's why I told, if you know units, okay, if you know units, then easily we will going to convert into in this MLT. So that is the dimensions. Yes. Okay. Next, so here we don't have the dimensional homogeneities. Okay, so whatever they given here, it is on a left hand side is equals to right hand side. Left hand side, whatever we have, it is equals to right hand side. So that is same. Whatever I told, suppose if we consider discharge, it is in a meter cube per second. So whatever that meter cube per second, it should be matched left hand side as well as right hand side by using this dimension quantities. Okay, so here the given application of a application also is the method of dimensional analysis. Okay, so here we can see the The methods, what are the methods we can see here? One is a Rayleigh method, Buckingham's pi theorem, sorry, or Buckingham's pi method. Okay, it is a Bridgman method, matrix tensor method. Okay, there is a n number of methods. Okay, but in your syllabus, okay, we have only this Buckingham's pi method. Okay, so we have only the Buckingham's pi method. But before going to this, okay, we should know even the Rayleigh method also. Okay, whatever this Rayleigh method. So while coming to this, with the help of a dimension analysis, the quantities of a physical phenomenon can be developed in terms of dimensionless group. Okay, and whatever this dimensionless group and this reducing the number of variables. Okay, suppose here we got, I told initially, if you take any turbines, okay, so there we can see at least minimum 10 or 7 to 8 dimensionless group. Whatever the dimensionless group, okay, we will going to reduce, okay, to number of variables. Okay, either it is a 2 or a 3. So that we can call it as the dimension analysis. Okay, so first I will just go for this method, and in details I will going to explain what is the Buckingham's pi method. Okay, in the Rayleigh method, whatever this method gives a special form of relation among the dimensionless group and has the inherent drawback, and it does not provide any information regarding the number of dimensionless group to be obtained as a result of dimension analysis. Okay, so whatever this dimension analysis, okay, that method, it have the drawbacks. Okay, suppose if I give only 2 to 3 variables. Okay, so I will call it as what is the generating head, pressure, and whatever the speed of the rotor. If I give only 3 dimension, okay, so at the time we can use this Rayleigh method. Okay, when the number of variables is minimum. Okay, when the number of variables is a minimum, so at the time we'll go for a Rayleigh method. Okay, when the number of variables is a maximum is nothing but it is a more than 3 to 4. Okay, so at that time we can't use this Rayleigh method. So that is the main drawback in this Rayleigh method. So instead of this Rayleigh method, we will go for the Buckingham's pi method. Okay, we will go for this Buckingham's pi method. The procedure, whatever the Rayleigh method procedure and whatever the Buckingham's pi method procedure, both are same. But whatever this Rayleigh method, it is suitable for only 2 to 3 variables. When variables are maximum, okay, maximum is more than 3, at the time we'll go for the Buckingham's pi method. Okay, so for this we'll going to call it as a dimension analysis. In the dimension analysis, there is a n methods. So in that we'll going to take only the Rayleigh method and Buckingham's pi method. But in your syllabus, okay, you have only this Buckingham's pi method or a Buckingham's pi theorem. Okay, so we'll come for the procedure. Whatever this procedure, it is a common for Rayleigh method as well as Buckingham's pi method. So directly I will come for the Buckingham's pi method. See, when large number of physical variables are involved in a Rayleigh method of dimension analysis become increasingly laborious and whatever this, okay, comes up. So Buckingham's pi method is an improvement over the Rayleigh method. What is this improvement means? Okay, if number of variables is more, then whatever this Rayleigh method it is, we can't use that method. See, Buckingham's pi designated the dimensionless group by the Greek capital pi. Okay, so it is therefore often called as a Buckingham's pi method. The advantage of this method over a Rayleigh method is that, okay, it let us know in advance of the analysis as how many dimensions. So here they given how many dimensions less groups are to be expected. Okay, so that's why I told if there is an n number of variables. Okay, so at that time we'll go for the Buckingham's pi method or Buckingham's pi theorem. So here they given the statement. Okay, even they won't ask all the statement, but you should understand what is this statement and all. If there are n number of variables, Okay, whether it is a dependent or it is an independent variable. So later I will come for what is this dependent and independent variables. Okay, if there are a n number of variables in a dimensionally homogeneous equation, and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions. So in the initially I told, what is the fundamental dimensions? One is a mass, so capital M, length, capital L, and time. So these three are the fundamental dimensions, because while solving the problem, okay, so we have to write this fundamental dimensions in each and every problem. So that's why please remember the fundamental dimension is always three, that is mass, length, and time. Okay, mass, length, and time. Then the variables are arranged into n minus m. Okay, see here it is an n variables initially. Okay, whether n variables it is an a 7 or 8, 9 or 10. Got it. And what is the fundamental dimensions? It is an m, small m. Okay, so 10 minus 3 we will get a 7 dimensionless terms. Okay, we will get 7 dimensionless terms. So it is depend, whatever this n variables, it is any depend. These dimensionless terms are called pi terms. Okay, just now I took example 10 minus 3, we will get 7. So there we will get pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4 up to pi 7 terms. So that is the statement here. If there is a n number of variables in a dimensionally homogeneous equation, and if these variables contains, okay, m fundamental dimensions, okay, then the variables are arranged in terms of a n minus m dimensionless term. This dimensionless term are called pi terms. Okay, this dimensionless term we can call it as a pi term. So that is the statement of Buckingham's pi theorem. So
Hello, sir.
yeah.
Sir, we want you to go little slow and steady.
Okay, fine.
And sir, regarding that homogeneity and all, sir, I just want a brief explanation about that.
You want homogeneity? Okay.
Yeah. So because this is actually taught us in PUC, we have been taught this in PUC, but we want little brush up onto the basics.
Okay. So then you want all this homogeneity and all?
Like just a brief explanation about that. So you just gave the definition for that and you went ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay, next I'll come for, okay, as per your friend, okay, so you want to know what is the dimensional homogeneity. Okay, so here they consider it is an power. Instead of power, okay, initially I will going to take it as an discharge. Okay, so whatever the here we consider the discharge, okay, I will going to take the same even here also. Okay, so I will going to take the discharge instead of power. Okay, I will going to take it as a discharge. Okay, suppose if I consider the discharge, okay, discharge we can write it as an area into velocity. Okay, so here they consider power. Okay, directly for that power I will going to write it as a watt. Okay, so directly I will going to write it as a watt because it is an energy. Okay, instead of this I consider it as a discharge. So discharge, it is an area into velocity. Okay, so area into velocity. So area directly I will going to write it as an okay, so it is an meter square into what is the discharge. So discharge So area into velocity. Velocity I will go to write it as a meter per second. So again meter per second I can write it as a okay. So meter it is in terms of a L and pi it is a time. Okay, so whatever this dimension of left hand side, whatever this left hand side we have, okay, so that first I will going to write it as a meter cube per second. Okay, directly I will going to write it as a meter cube per second. Okay, similarly, whatever here, okay, so I will going to write this. Okay, it is a meter cube per second. So meter cube per second I will going to take it as a okay in terms of a m, l and t. So whatever this left hand side, so dimensions of this left hand side, what they given, so power, so power I will go to write it is a watt, sorry, it is a watt. So that further whatever that watt, okay, we will go into convert, okay, so we will going to convert it is a joules per second. Am I right? It is a joules per second. Further that joules we can write it as a Newton meter. Okay, so we'll going to write it as a Newton, whatever this one, okay, power. So while solving the problem, we're going to show clearly, okay, so joules per second. So joules per second, we can write it as a Newton meter. So, okay, so again for that Newton meter, we can write it as a kg meter per second square. Okay, we're going to write it as a kg meter per second square. So further, whatever this conversion, okay, so finally we'll get it as a kg meter square per second cube. So finally we'll get it as a ml square by t cube. Okay, kg means it is in a meters and sorry, it is in a mass, and whatever that meter square, it is in terms of a L. So it is an L square, and whatever S cube, okay, time. So we can write it as an t to the power of 3. So later, okay, in the second session, I will going to show clearly the conversions while solving the problem. Even in my notes, I have not clearly written. So the discharge, speed, diameter and all. Okay, here I will going to show in details. Okay, so that we can write it as an m L square t to the power of minus 3. Okay, so I'm talking about it is a power, so joules per second. So whatever this is the dimensional homogeneity. Homogeneity is nothing but whatever the left hand side is equals to the right hand side. Okay, so that we can call it as a dimensionally homogeneous. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Because I have clearly solved, because whatever for applications of turbo machines, okay, I solved that one. So later in the second session, okay, I will going to show that one sheet. Got it? Okay, shall I continue or stop here?
Continue, sir.
Continue, sir.
Continue, sir.
Continue?
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah, okay, I will continue. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so next, while coming to the Buckingham's pi method, because I'm skipping the Rayala method. The procedure is same for both the methods. Okay. First, I will come for mathematically if any variables. Okay, x1 depends on independent variables. I don't know what is this x1. Okay, suppose, for example, I will take it as a power. Power is depending on some variables. Okay, so x1 I will consider it as a power. Power is depends on independent variables. So what is that independent variables? Maybe speed of the rotor or diameter of the rotor, discharge of the fluid, density or viscosity. Okay, so power, it is depending on the independent variables. So that's why they given x2, x3, x4 up to xn. This function equation may be written as x1 is the function of up to xn. Okay, so power is depending on all these independent variables. Okay, so this further we can write it as, okay, function of, again here I told no, dependent and independent variables. So here dependent and independent variables is function of x1, x2, x3 up to xn, that is equals to 0. Okay, so here it is an x1. See, means power is a function, but whatever this equation further we can write it as function of all dependent and independent variables. So x1, x2, x3 up to xn, that is equals to 0. See here they given it is a dimensionally homogeneous equation and contains n variables. So whatever this, now it is an n variables. So while counting, okay, we have to count even this also. Okay, that's why while writing, okay, first you have to count function of x1 means power, and further we can take it as a speed and diameter and discharge, density and viscosity. We have to count all this. So that's why this contains, okay, n number of variables. Okay, next, if there are m fundamental dimensions, then according to the Buckingham's pi theorem, okay, 7.4, this equation we can write it as the terms of pi terms. We can return in terms of a pi, because here we told clearly. So dependent as well as independent variables. So completely we can call it as n variables. This n variables, okay, n minus m. M is nothing but fundamental dimensions. Okay, so n minus m. Okay, n minus m. So number of pi terms means dimensionless group in which numbers of pi terms is equal to n minus m. Hence equation 7.4 becomes like this. So function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to pi n minus m. So that's why I told initially, if our fundamental dimensions, whatever the n variables is a 10 and fundamental variables is 3. So 10 minus 3 we will get 7. So that's why pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4, pi 6, pi 7. Okay, so now we got the pi terms. Okay, later, whatever this pi term, because whatever this step is very, very, very important, because usually the students will do mistakes here only. Okay, so whatever in these steps, okay, please take care of while writing this equation. Okay, now already we got how many pi terms are there. Okay, I told it is up to pi 7. So now each dimensionless pi terms is found by combining m variables out of the total n variables. Okay, so here we can see m is nothing but 3. There is a 3 variables out of the total n variables. So total n variables, example I consider is a 10 with one of the remaining n minus m variables. Okay, so one of the remaining n minus 1 variables. So that is each pi term contains m plus 1. See what is m? So here we have. So this is the m. 1, 2 and 3 and one more variables. Okay, 3 is the fundamental variables and 1 is the non-fundamental variables. These m variables which appears repeatedly in each pi terms. Okay, so you just see this equation. What is pi 1? x2 to the power of a1, x3 to the power of b1, x4 to the power of c1, and one more is x1. And you just see pi 2 term. In the pi 2 term, whatever this x2, x3, x4, it is common. Means whatever this m is common in all each pi terms, and whatever this, it is a non-repeating variable. Okay, one is a non-repeating variable. So that's why you took it is an x5. So you can see this is the x5. Similarly, while writing pi 3, okay, pi 3 again x2 to the power of a3, x3 to the power of b3, x4 to the power of c3, and whatever this, okay, so we'll going to write it as an a x. So here it is an a 1 and here it is a 5. Next we're going to write it x6. So like that up to we have to write n minus m. So whatever this x2, x3 and x4, it should be a repeating variable and one is the non-repeating variables. So here clearly they given. So consequently called repeating variables and are chosen from among the variables such as they together involves all the fundamental dimensions and they themselves do not form a dimensionless parameter. Let in the above case x2, x3 and x4 are the repeating variables if the fundamental dimension MLT 3 and each terms is written as in this manner. Okay, next you can ask one question. Sir, whatever you written here x2, x3, x4, how we can choose this x2, x3 and x4? Okay, so for that, okay, I will going to explain clearly here. Okay, before that, where what is this A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, so on, etc. So whatever this A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3, etc. are contains which are determined by considering dimensional homogeneities. Okay, so whatever this here we can say this is the dimensional homogeneities, means whatever the left hand side is equals to right hand side and whatever this pi 1, pi 2 and pi 3 we can obtain up to pi n minus m. Okay, and finally we will go to write like this. Okay, so next how we will going to select a repeating variables. So this is the repeating variables 1, 2, 3, these are the repeating variables and one is the non-repeating variables. The following point should be kept in the view while selecting m repeating variables. Okay, so m repeating variables already we consider variable must contain jointly all the fundamental dimensions involved in this phenomenon. Usually the fundamental dimensions are mass, length and time. However, if only two dimensions are involved, there will be two repeating variables and they must contain together the two dimensions involved. Okay, the repeating variables must not from the non-dimensional parameters. So please remember even this also. Okay, whatever that repeating variables. Okay, so x2, x3 and x4. Okay, so whatever that must not from the non-dimensional parameters. As far as possible, the dependent variable should not be selected as repeating variables. No two repeating variables should have the same dimensions. Okay, while selecting this one, okay, so we should not consider two repeating variables in the same dimensions. So now very important point is the repeating variable should be chosen in such a way that, okay, one variable contains geometric property. Please remember this, okay, while selecting the repeating variables, okay, whatever we are got x2, x3 and x4, for that, okay, one should be geometric property. We know the geometric property is nothing but what is the length, what is the diameter and what is the height. So I'll repeat once again. Okay, whatever the repeating variables should be chosen in such a way that one contains geometric property. What is this geometric? So length, diameter, height, width, all this together we can call it as a geometrical properties. Okay, next one, the second repeating variables. Okay, it should from flow property. Okay, so suppose if I consider x2. Okay, x2 it is a geometric property. Okay, out of these three, or if you have check out of, suppose we have diameter in our problem, so we can choose diameter as whatever diameter as a geometrical property. Similarly for x3, okay, flow property. What is this flow property somehow? Example, I'll going to consider the velocity. Okay, next, what is the acceleration? Okay, all these we can call it as we can call it as a flow property. Okay, we can call it as a flow property. So next, you can ask, sir, what about discharge? Even discharge also in a flow property. So that's why they given etc. Okay, so velocity, acceleration, whatever we have the discharge, all this we can call it as a flow property. Okay, we have to choose from our problem. Okay, we have to choose from our problem. So next, the third variable. So it is an x4 variable. For x4 variable, so third variable contains the fluid property. So here it is in a flow property. Next, the fluid property. What is that fluid property? So here we can see what is the mass, density, the weight, dynamic viscosity. All this we can call it as a fluid property. Okay, this is the fluid property. Okay, so here they given the combination. Okay, the choice of repeating variables in most of the fluid mechanics problem may be. So here they given what is L. Okay, L we can call it as a geometric property. Velocity we can call it as it is a flow property. And what is density? We can call it as a fluid property. So that's why as per your problem statement, okay, as per your problem statement, you can choose the repeating variables like this. Suppose, for example, in my problem, whatever L, V and rho, okay, density, if this is the, okay, repeating variables, so I will going to choose first is an L, second is an a V and rho. So I will going to write it is an a L to the power of A1, V to the power of A2, sorry, B2, sorry, A1, B1, C1, rho to the power of C1. So next pi 2 term I will going to write as an a. So L to the power of A2, V to the power of B2 and rho to the power of C2. Okay, so this is the repeating variables. Okay, so here they given the combinations, but you don't depend on these combinations, but any combination, it should be geometrical property, second one should be flow property, third one should be fluid property. So we got 3 is the repeating variables and 1 non-repeating variables. So this is the non-repeating variables. See, while solving one problem, okay, so you're going to clearly understood, okay, the procedure for this dimension analysis or a Buckingham's pi theorem. Clear? Yeah, okay. Hello. So anyone, you can unmute. I think you have my notes, right? First unit notes. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to show here. I hope everyone have these notes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. See, I'll come for this problem. I'll come for this problem. Okay, but before that, you wait for another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so for this problem statement, okay, I solved the dimensions. Okay, whatever we have the unit conversions. Okay, just I will share that one with you. Okay, you just wait for another 2 minutes, or else do one thing, take a pen and take a book. Okay, I will tell the procedure and you just go for this one. Anyway, we have the reference here. You just solve once. Okay, you just solve once and you just correlate for this and your answer. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So one small question.
Yeah, okay.
So why do we actually perform this analysis, sir? So only to check the homogeneity?
Yeah, only because see, suppose if I give one problem to you, so there whatever the variables is more than 10 or more than 15, got it? To reduce that whatever complexity, okay, whatever we have that complexity, just the reduction of the complexity, we'll go for this dimension analysis. So right now we have 10 variables. So out of the 10 variables, we will going to convert only 3 non-dimensionals number. Okay, so that's why we'll use this dimension analysis.
So does it have any like real-time applications, sir?
Yeah, is there because suppose I want to what install a one turbine unit because this is the turbo machine. Okay, I'm just giving example. Turbo any one turbine. Okay, for the turbine, I will going to give only the power. Okay, and what is the efficiency? I will give only these two parameters to you. For that, okay, for that you have to design. So what is the width, what is the number of buckets required, what is the diameter of the rotor and all. So for that purpose, okay, we'll go for this dimensionless numbers. So just now I told, I will give what is the speed, what is the diameter, what is the discharge density, viscosity and all. Okay, once I will give this, then only you can design this turbo machines or any turbines. For that purpose, we need this dimensional analysis.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. You just wait for another 2 minutes. Okay, I will share. Okay, just check it once. Just now I shared that sheet. Okay, anyone got the post?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, I will check once. You got the conversion?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now I will consider example of this application of dimension analysis to turbo machines. See, for any turbo machine is nothing but either it is a centrifugal pumps or any turbines. Got it? So we are interested in the relationship of header pressure, flow rate, power, torque, etc. See, first initially for any turbo machines, we will go to consider either it is a head, so or it is a pressure, flow rate, power, torque, etc. Along with this, okay, we will going to consider what is the size. Okay, size is nothing but rotor size, that is a diameter, speed, and properties of the working fluid. Okay, properties of the working fluid. So, while coming to this, the dependent variable in the turbo machines are usually the generating head. So, just now I told, suppose if I consider power, okay, I will going to consider it as a power. So, here what they given, it is a generating head and power. Okay, so GH, it is nothing but a generating head, or we can call it as an energy per unit mass flow rate. Okay, energy per unit mass flow rate. So that we can call it as a generating head and power. Okay, whatever these two, it is a dependent, okay, on all these variables. These two dependent variables are the function of, one is a rotor speed, so N, rotor diameter, capital D, discharge of the fluid Q, fluid density rho, and fluid viscosity mu. Okay, fluid viscosity, or we can call it a dynamic viscosity mu. Got it? So here, first I will come for the step 1. What is this step 1? Okay, so first I will come for, means I will going to write as it is. Whatever the problem statement they given, I will going to write as it is. As it is nothing but whatever the energy per unit mass flow rate and power. These two, okay, is a dependent on this variables. Okay, on this variable. So that's why GH and power, okay, energy and whatever this power, it is a function of in all these variables. So N, rotor speed, diameter, discharge, density, and viscosity. Got it? So next, whatever this, okay, I will going to write it as a function of all these variables, because I want to going to club, okay, the dependent as well as the independent variables. So I will going to write GH, P, N, D, Q, rho, and mu. That is equals to 0. Okay. So next I will going to count how many variables are there. So one is a dependent as well as the independent variable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So for this particular application of dimension analysis, totally we have 7 variables. Okay, that is small n. Small n is 7 variables. So next, we want the fundamental dimensions, the number of fundamental dimensions. So it is denoted by small m. So small m always, please remember, it is in a 3 in a turbo machines and 4 in a heat transfer. But right now we are dealing with the turbo machines. But remember, small m always it is in a 3 only. Okay, small m always it is a 3 only. M, L, and T, mass, length, and time. So as per the definitions, okay, we will going to know n minus m terms. So that is number of pi terms we want. Okay, number of pi terms. So we can write it as an n minus m is 7 minus 3, we will get 4 pi terms. Okay, so here initially we will going to know how many number of variables, dependent as well as independent variables. So it is an 7. So next, we want fundamental dimensions 3 and finally we will going to find number of pi terms. So n minus m we will get 4. So in the procedure we discussed, so I want to write so pi terms now, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4. Okay, so I written here number of pi terms is 4. So whatever this equation 2, so I'll come for equation 2, function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 and pi 4, that is equals to 0. Okay, because whatever we have, see, someone asked, sir, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have the 7 variables, and out of 7 variables we reduced 4. So we have pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 and pi 4 terms. So now we just group know how many pi terms are there. So then what is the step 2? See, here step 2 is very important. Okay, so I'll come for here. Each pi terms contains m plus 1 variables. What is this m? So m is, it is a repeating variables. Okay, m, it is a repeating variables, and 1 should be the non-repeating variables. Okay, 1 is the non-repeating variables. Okay, another one is a non-repeating variable. So whatever this we will going to convert. Okay, so we're going to convert 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so 3 plus 1 is 4. So out of 4 variables, 3 should be repeating variables and 1 should be non-repeating variables. Okay, 1 is 3 should be repeating and 1 is non-repeating variables. Clear? Yes. So we have to select, okay, the repeating variables. Okay, so we have to select the repeating variable. So how we're going to select this repeating variables? Okay, so here in this directly selected row ND. Okay, but I'll explain once again. So whatever, one should be geometrical properties, one should be flow property, another should be fluid property. Okay, and whatever this 3, it should remain constant in all pi terms. Okay, I'll repeat once again here. Okay, whatever 4 variables, out of 4 variables, 3 should be repeating variables. Okay, what is that repeating variables? One should be so here diameter, it is a geometrical property. So another, it is a flow property, another it is a fluid property. Got it? So these 3 are the repeating variables and 1 should be non-repeating variables. So where we're going to select non-repeating variables? So we have to select here. Okay, we're going to select here. So in the function g, p, n and all. Okay, yeah. So what is the step 3? For different pi terms can be written as, okay, so here for this problem statement, okay, so I considered row ND. So you can raise the question, sir, why you written only row ND? So you can write it as first is a D, because D it is a geometrical property, and N it is a flow property, and rho it is a fluid property. Yeah, fine, you can write. So you can write it as a D, you can write it as an N, and you can write it as a rho also. It is also correct. Okay, it is also correct. But what is the finally? Finally, we got this answer. Okay, if you use that method, means first, okay, instead of using rho ND, so you can use it as a D, N, rho. You can use, but finally you will get the same only. Okay, you will get the same only. Okay, so that's why, okay, here we don't have the interaction and all. So that's why I am telling you can use the different method, means you can change the variables that side and this side. Okay, yeah. Next, so totally we have the pi 4 terms. So what is pi 1? So I written rho to the power of a1, n to the power of b1, d to the power of c1, and whatever this gh, it is a non-repeating variable. Okay, gh is the non-repeating variable. So you just come here. You just come here. So which one I used? So I used rho I used N and I used D. So you just round it off here. Rho, you just round it off, and D, you just round it off, and N, you just round it off. So next, what is the remaining? So GH is the remaining, P is the remaining, and Q is the remaining, and mu is the remaining. So 1, 2, and 3 is the repeating variables, and first non-repeating variables is GH. So that I consider here. GH is the non-repeating variables for pi 1 term. Next, similarly, pi 2 terms, again these three common, rho to the power of A2, N to the power of B2, D to the power of C2, and GH is over. So next is non-repeating variables is P. Okay, power. So that is pi 2. Similarly, pi 3. So rho to the power of A3, N to the power of B3, D to the power of C3. So which is remaining? GH is completed, P is completed. Next we have Q. So Q is the non-repeating variable in a pi 3 term. Similarly, pi 4. So rho to the power of A4, N to the power of B4, and D to the power of C4. And which is the non-repeating variable for pi 4? Only one is remaining, mu. Okay, one is mu is remaining. So we got mu here. Okay, so you got mu here. So now I selected pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4. Okay, so this is the step 3. That is the step 3. Hello? I hope you understood up to step 2, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. I'll continue. Yes. Next. See, I'll come for this. So I have GH, I have P, I have Q, I have mu, rho, N, D. See, whatever this initially, still it is in a dimensions, but whatever we have to convert this into, okay, so the homogeneities. Got it? Homogeneities, it is in terms of a M, L, T. So that's why now you can refer, okay, whatever I shared just now, the conversion, you go to that conversions. Because here I'm not getting here. But anyway, I have the reference here. Okay, I have the reference. Okay, just I'll come for the first one. Okay, I think everyone with that conversion sheet, right? First one, I'll come for discharge. Okay, so what is the unit for discharge? It is in a meter cube per second. Okay, what is that M? So M, it is in a meter, means it is in a L. So I written it is in a L cube by T. So I'm just sorry, it is in a T. It is not T minus 1. It is only T. It is not T minus 1. It is in a L cube by T. So yeah, I written there T to the power of minus 1. No, it is not a minus 1. It is an L cube by T, because second it is in a time. Okay, second it is in a time. So I written L cube by T, and finally I want L cube T minus 1. So I'll come for Q, discharge. You see here the third one, discharge. It is in a meter cube per second. So L cube T minus 1. So already I converted this one. Clear? Similarly, I will come for speed. Okay, what is the unit for speed? It is a revolution per minute. It is a revolution per minute. So for revolution per minutes per minute only. Per minute only. So it is a 1 by T. So 1 by T we can write it as a T to the power of minus 1. See here. Sixth one. So N speed T to the power of minus 1. Next, similarly I confirm the diameter. Okay, so what is the unit for diameter? It is in a meters. Meter, it is nothing but L. So I written L. For diameter I written L. Next, energy. See, please understand here. It is an energy per unit mass flow rate. Okay, so here they given it is an energy per unit mass flow rate. Okay, so this conversion, so directly written it is in a meter cube per second square. Okay, so directly written it is in a meter square per second square. The reason is energy per unit mass flow rate. If I converted, finally I got meter square per second square. Okay, this meter square per second square, I directly write it as an L square by, I not written there, but I am telling here. So time t to the power of 2. So finally I will going to write t square and sorry L square t to the power of minus 2. So you can check here, GH, first one. It is in a generating head or unit energy per unit mass flow. So whatever this energy per unit mass flow rate, I will going to discuss in energy transfer in turbo machines. Okay, because there we will going to use the velocity equations and all. So at that time we will going to explain. But right now I am telling it is in a meter square per second square. Okay, meter square per second square. So L square t to the power of minus 2. Next I will come for the power. Okay, next I will come for the power. So power directly here I written m L square t minus cube. If you are strong in unit conversion, so directly you can write. But so here we have power, it is in a watts, or simply we can write is in a joules per second. Okay, it is in a joules per second. So further we can write this joules, it is in a Newton meter. Okay, whatever the unit conversion, joules, we can write it as an a Newton meter. Okay, again here we have per second, so I written the same, per second. Further this Newton meter, further this whatever the Newton, we can write it in the form of a kg meter per second square. Okay, so I'm going to write it as in a kg meter per second square, and whatever meter per second I took it as a same. So meter per second. So finally we got here, so kg meter square per second cube. Okay, I'll repeat here. Newtons we'll going to write it as in a kg meter per second square. Kg meter per second square, and I will going to retain the same meter per second. So I retain meter per second same. So further we can write this as an a kg meter square per second cube, and finally we'll get kg, it is in a mass, so I written m meter, so it is in a L square, and time, so second cube, so t to the power of 3. So finally we can write it as an a m L square t to the power of minus 3. Okay, t to the power of minus 3. Next, density. Okay, so density, it is in a kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube. So what is that kg? It is in a mass. So I written m, and meter L cube. So finally we can write it as m L to the power of minus 3. And next, dynamic viscosity, mu. So what is the unit for dynamic viscosity? It is in a Newton second per meter square. Okay, I'll repeat this, Newton second per meter square. So again, Newtons, we can write it as a kg meter per second square. So further conversion into, I retain the same second per meter square. So here what happens, meter will get cancelled, and second will get cancelled. So finally we got kg meter second. So kg, I'll going to write it as in a meter, and LT. So finally we got m L to the power of minus 1 and t to the power of, sorry, so we got m, L and e minus 2. So whether it is in a t minus 1, right? Okay, I did mistake here. Okay, you just unmute your mic and you can tell. I hope you understood this. Diploma students, especially diploma students.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So still you have doubt. Okay, so you just note down your doubts and you can ask another day. Okay. Yeah. Next, I'll come for further. Next, first I will going to take. This is very important. Once you converted, that's why I told. If you are very good in conversion, okay, so directly you can write this whatever in terms of a MLT. Suppose if you don't know unit conversion, you go for step by step, no problem. Okay, because in the examination, they will going to ask for 10 marks. Okay, whatever this question, okay, they will going to ask for not this question, the similar type, okay, they will going to ask for 10 marks. Yeah, next, I'll come for pi 1 term. What is pi 1 term? Okay, so here rho to the power of a1, n to the power of b1, d to the power of c1 and gh. So 3 is the repeating and 1 is the non-repeating variables. So first I will going to take what is pi 1. So pi 1, very important. So just now you asked, first we will going to take it as a left hand side. So in the left hand side, I will going to consider m to the power of 0, l to the power of 0 and t to the power of 0. And right hand side, that is equals to what is rho. So rho, we will going to write it as an ml to the power of minus 3, okay, to the power of a1, because to the power of a1. Similarly, length for for speed n time t to the power of minus 1 to the power of b1. And next, diameter, what is the diameter? It is an L to the power of c1 into, so what is generating head? So generating head, it is an meter square per second square. So I will going to write it as an L square. We will going to write it as an dimensionless numbers. Okay, in the form of a m, l, t. So left hand side m naught, m to the power of 0, l to the power of 0 and t to the power of 0. And whatever we have this pi term, we will going to write in this m, l, t. So what is next? So we have to equate only the powers on both the sides, in the left hand side as well as right hand side. Okay, equating the powers of m, l, t. Okay, using left hand side as well as right hand side. So equating the powers on both the sides. Okay, first I will going to consider m. Okay, first I will going to consider m. See, along with me, you just I'll go for slowly. Okay, along with me, you can solve. So first I will come for equating the power for m. Okay, both left hand side as well as right hand side. Okay, in the left hand side, what is the power? So we have 0. Okay, what is the power? We have 0. Next, I will come for right hand side. Okay, so here we can see. So here we have m l to the power of minus 3 whole to the power of a1. Okay, so what is the power for m? It is an a1. So next, I will going to check for a second term. So here we don't have m. Next, I will come for third one. So here also we don't have. Next, I will come for next. So here also we don't have for m. So what is a1 now? a1 is 0. We got the power for a1. What is a1? a1 now it is 0. Next, m is completed. Next, I'll equating the powers for l on both the sides. What is left hand side? Left hand side I have 0. Okay, left hand side I have 0. Next, I'll come for right hand side for l. Okay, so l, what is the l to the power of minus 3? So here we have the minus 3 and here to the power of a1. So what is the power here? Minus 3a1. Okay, for L, it is a minus 3a1. Okay, so I written minus 3a1. I'll go for second. So here we don't have L. Next, I'll come for third one. Okay, next I'll come for third one. So here we have the L. So L, here also we have 1. So I'll going to write it as a 1 into C1 plus, okay, so here we have L to the power of 2. So plus 2, because we are equating only the powers. Okay, we are equating only the powers on both the sides. So I got 0 is equals to minus 3a1 plus c1 plus 2. Okay, but what is a1 here? Already a1 is 0. So whatever this I got 0. Minus 3 into 0, so 0. So what is c1 now? c1 is equals to minus 2. So now I got the power for c. I know what is the power for this c. So value for c, it is an 2, minus 2. Next, similarly for t. So again, I will repeat the procedure for t. So what is the power for t? In left hand side we have 0. I'll come for right hand side. Okay, so here I don't have t. So here I have t. So t to the power of minus 1 to the power of b1. So minus b1. So next term, so there is a no t. Next I'll come for here. So here I have t to the power of minus 2. What is the power? So minus 2. So now what is b1? So b1 is minus. So now I know all the powers. I know what is a1, what is the b1, and what is the c1. Now I know. Okay, where we're going to substitute all this a1, b1 and c1. So we're going to substitute in the pi1 term. Okay, we substitute in the pi1 term. What is pi1? So clearly written here, substituting the values of a1, b1, c1 in the first equation of equation 4. So this is equation 4. So this is the first equation. So I'm going to write here pi1 is equals to, so what is rho to the power of a1? So a1 is 0. So I written 0. Next n to the power of b1. What is b1? So b1 is minus 2. And d to the power of c1. What is c1? c1 is minus 2. And what is the remaining? gh. See here, gh. gh is remaining. So g into gh. So this I will going to write it as pi1 is equals to, so gh I will going to written here, because here we have n to the power of minus 2 and d to the power of minus 2. So this equation we can write it as gh by, so here to the power of 0. So it is 0 only. So we will going to write it as n2 and n square and d square. So now we got what is pi1 term. This pi1 we can call it as a head coefficient. Okay, even we can call it as a head coefficient. Clear? So I'll going to repeat once again here. So right now we got all the powers, means a1, b1 and c1. So once we know the powers, next we will going to substitute in the pi terms. So we'll going to substitute in the pi terms. What is pi terms? Rho to the power of a1, n to the power of b1, d to the power of c1 and gh. So here once I'm going to substitute here, we got rho to the power of 0, n to the power of minus 2, d to the power of minus 2 into gh. So further this equation we can write it as pi1 is equals to gh, means it is a generating head, by n square d square. So this pi term we can call it as a head coefficient. This pi term we can call it as a head coefficient. See, once you understood for pi1, whatever we thought now, the procedure remains same from here onwards, but it is for a pi2 terms. Okay, it is for a pi2 terms. See here, whatever, once again I repeat the procedure for pi2 terms. Again, left hand side I took m0, l0, t0, means m to the power of 0, l to the power of 0, t to the power of 0. Okay, and right hand side again I took in terms of a m, l, t. Next, equating the powers for mlt. Next we will got pi2. Okay, so here you can see the pi2, and similarly pi3, and similarly pi4. Okay, so in my notes I written what is pi2 term. It is a power coefficient, and pi3 term it is a discharge coefficient. See, please remember these pi1, pi2, pi3 order, it is left to you only. Okay, it is left to you only, but I want what is discharge coefficient and what is the power coefficient. Okay, next what is the head coefficient. Once you know these three, head coefficient, power coefficient and discharge coefficient, whatever the order it may varies, no problem, but remember the coefficients, because once you know this, okay, then easily we have to derive the derivation on the specific speed. Okay, so in my notes the procedure I solved the two types. This is the one type. Okay, next is, if you remember the pi terms, then out of 1 page, 2 page, okay, so you will get in a within 2-step solution. Whatever this solution you will get within the 2 steps. Once you know the head coefficient, discharge coefficient, and the power coefficient up to pi 3 terms. Okay, up to pi 3 terms. So there is a two types of procedure. One is a two-step procedure, another one is a 2 pages derivation. So later I will discuss that one. Okay, later I'll go to discuss what is the specific speeds and all. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, this Buckingham's pi method. Okay, for the applications of a turbo machines. Hello. You can give the information. I hope you understood the procedure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understood? Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Oneness is okay. Okay, I will stop here only. Okay, I will going to stop here only. So my suggestion, please go through once. Okay, for pi 2 term, pi 3 term, and pi 4 term. If you will feel any difficulty, okay, so you can next in the next class, okay, you can put it in the chat box wherever you are getting difficulty. So I will going to solve that one. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. Okay, please practice once. Okay, so I want pi 1, pi 2, and pi 3 because for next the specific derivation. Okay, so these three terms are very important. Okay, thank you. I'll go to stop here.